Perfect. Our partner.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. I'm so glad to be together this evening. Shabbat Shalom. What a day of weather it's been. A lot of ups and downs, a lot of wet sneakers, and a thunderstorm. But here we are together, so I'm very grateful for that. This evening, we are going to join together in prayer and song and a little study, and we will celebrate each other and our the fact that we have finally arrived at Shabbat. Is there anybody who would like to light candles or say Kiddush and Motzi? If you have something special coming up that you'd like to celebrate, if not, that's fine. We can do it together. I'm happy to do that. But if there is somebody who'd like to celebrate. All right. Okay. We're gonna start this evening on page 3. At the bottom of the page on the right side, the hour of prayer. It just really spoke to me today. So I know we're not in the sanctuary together, but I think it helps create the feeling like we are. Source of light, of truth, and of the impulse within us towards justice and mercy. May this hour of prayer be one of vision and inspiration. Help us to find knowledge by which to live, that the words we speak enter our hearts and influence our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in search of you or in need of comfort and consolation. May the offering of our hearts be acceptable to you, and may the prayers we utter here bear fruits and acts of kindness, peace, and love. Let's start with Ma Yafeh Hayom on page 4. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Ma Yafeh Hayom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Let us continue with Yedid Nefesh on the top of page 7. Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman. Yedid Nefesh Av Harachaman. Meshoch Avdecha. El Retzonecha. Meshoch Avdecha. Ya la 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 la. El Retzonecha. Yarut Avdecha Kemoyal Yishtachav Elai Lai Lai Yala Lai 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 Al Muchadarecha Yarut Avdecha Kemoyal Yishtachav Elai Lai Lai Ya la 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 El Muhadarecha. We are going to continue with candle lighting on page 9. If you have candles nearby that you would like to light, I invite you to prepare yourself for that moment, and we'll light them together here in just a second. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. We've done it. We made it. Let's sing Shir Ladonai on page 11. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Ladonai kol haaretz, Shiru Ladonai shir chadash. I just decided I needed some extra psalms, extra Kabbalat Shabbat psalms this evening. That's sort of the mood I was in. So I thank you for indulging me in that. I'd like to do one more just to sort of, really increase our joy. On the bottom of page 12, Romemu. Here we go. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla, lecha dodi. Likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, Ishmiyanu el hamyuchad. Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'litchila. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla. Likrat Shabbat, lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha. Merosh mikadam nasuka, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat chila. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla. Hitoreri, ki ba'orech kumi ori. Uri, shir daberi, kavod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabla. I invite you to rise and face the door as you welcome Shabbat into your spaces. We join together. Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha ulsohola, toch harmonei am segula, boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nekabla. We are going to continue on page 17 in Chatzi Kaddish. Ikada v'ikadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach yirtei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv ve'imeru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevorach, le'olam ulam me'omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yipa'ar v'yishamam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalel, shemei l'kudusha brichu, ve'elam min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'oma, ve'imeru amen. We rise now for Baruch Hu on page 18. Ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach, Baruch Adonai Hamevorach, Le'olam va'ed. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due. Praise Adonai, to whom our praise is due, now and forever. Please be seated. We are going to continue with the Ma'ariv Aravim. We're going to do the alternative, the English on page 19. Evening the evenings, evening the frayed edges of our lives. Sacred words, even the evenings. Wisdom opens gates locked around our hearts. Understanding alters the times, changing the seasons, cycles divine. Paint diamonds on the canvas called sky. Soothe our souls with a lilting lullaby. Rolling away the night, rolling away the light. Spirit of the night, we bless your name. Eternal light, eternal flame. Baruch atah Adonai hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. I think that's a song usually, isn't it? I think so, yeah. I've heard that one before, but here we go. I read it this time. Next time we'll sing it. It'll be great. We'll continue with Ahavat Olam on page 20. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu otanu lemadata. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochbeinu, kumeinu nasiach bechukacha, v'nismach b'divrei toratecha, uv'mitzvotecha le'olam va'ed. Ki chem hayenu, ve'orech yameinu, uva'em nege yomam balayla, nege yomam balayla. V'ahavadcha al tasir, mimenu le'olamim. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We're going to join together in Shema this evening. I'm going to ask you to unmute if you feel comfortable to join me in the Seltzer Shema, the Seltzer version of it, Shema Yisrael, on page 22. If you feel comfortable, I invite you to join the Holy Cacophony. Shema Yisrael, Thank you all. It's just so nice to hear your voices. And now, as Patty said, I think recently to somebody, now that I have a taste of everybody in the sanctuary, I can't wait for us all to be together. So the more I get to hear your voices, the better it is. We'll continue with the Ahavta on that same page. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. We're going to continue with Micha Mocha on page 25. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש. נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקע הים לבני משה. זה לינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך, אדוני ימלוך, לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, קהל ישראל. Let's continue now with Hashkivenu on the next page. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu kusukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu shukat shlomecha. Amen. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. That one I couldn't tell. Some of you may have known that one, but some of you did not know that one. That was okay, sweet. You know I love to add a surprise. It's so hard to tell with the body language. That one was like, oh, people were swaying, but maybe it was just me. We're going to continue with the Amidah on page 51. I invite you to rise, and we'll just start by taking a few breaths and grounding ourselves. As we sing the Amidah, we are recognizing our past, our ancestors, the people who came before us. We are recognizing the strength of God and God's holiness. We are recognizing Shabbat and the special place it has in our lives. We are recognizing gratitude and how grateful we are for our lives and for God. And we recognize peace. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel. Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'Neihem, Lema'an Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rab lehoshia. Mehalkel chaim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim v'rofech oholim, umatir asurim. Umekayem emunato lishenei afar michamocha ba'al gevurot umido melech memit umechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman atah lahachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahalu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. We are going to continue with Vishamru on page 55. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et hashavat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. I invite you now to take some moments for silent prayer, for gratitude, for deep breathing, the prayers on the page or the prayers of your heart, and we will continue back together in just a moment. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uberacha, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da 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 da. Yada da yada da da da. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Well, friends, we have done it. We have come to the end of Leviticus. We did it. We made it through all the gross parts, all the interesting parts, all the parts that are both gross and interesting, and everywhere in between. We made it through. This week's parsha is Bachar Bechukotai. It's a double parsha, so there's a lot of information in this Torah portion that goes over. Of course, there's many laws. But the big thing that's in here, there's laws in all of Leviticus is full of laws, right? This is all about how, how people should be treated and how, what will happen. It's blessings and curses. Bachar Bechukotai is sort of blessings and curses. There's also this, the biggest part of this, this Torah portion this week is the Shemitah year, or the year, of complete rest. Once every 7 years, the land observes a Shemitah or a Shabbat of complete rest. Shemitah is like 7, and it comes from this idea that like once every 7 years, a farmer's field should not be plowed, nothing should be pruned, nothing should be harvested. It all just lays and rests. And then after 7 cycles of this, the Bible, by the way, loves the number 7. 7 days of creation. I mean, we just love a 7. It's 7 and 40. It seemed to be the two, those 2 of the main hits. And after 7 cycles of this, during the 50th year, a Jubilee year is to be celebrated, which is when all of the land that had been sold during the previous time returned to its original owners, and slaves are to be freed. This idea of a Shabbat like this, this kind of, the word Jubilee sort of brings me into this idea of like, when we think about Jubilee, we think about joy, we think about freedom. And following this order, God then tells Israel, if they follow the laws and warn about the curses that will befall the people, like that God promises blessings to Israel if they follow the laws, and curses if they choose not to do so. This idea of blessings and curses sort of brought a lot up for me. But I think one of the biggest things is that is what we teach at the end of each book of the Torah. We teach this phrase, at the end of we finish each book, we say, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. Be strong, and let us strengthen each other. They're all the same root, Chazak, which means strength, and V'nit Chazek is a different form of the same word, meaning to strengthen, and strengthen one another, each other. This kind of joy that the Jubilee year would cause is really what I think about when I think about that phrase, Chazak, Chazak, V'nit Chazek. I think about letting the words of Torah wash over us, of strengthening us, of being strong, and of understanding that our relationship to each other is what makes us a people. Our relationship to each other is what gives us these blessings, and our relationship to each other affects, like the way that we treat each other affects each other in enough so that God might even talk about curses. Now, the idea of blessings and curses, of course, is a separate conversation about punishment and reward. And do we believe that? Is that the way that we believe God operates? And you'll have to come to Eleanor Ruiz's bat mitzvah to find that out. I love a bat mitzvah cliffhanger, but her bat mitzvah actually has been moved to November, but she is still talking about this parsha since this was what she was already working on. So look forward to that sometime in the future. But I guess one of the things that really hit me was this idea of the Shemitah, like this idea of rest, and how hard it's been, I think, for so many of us. Right? Work is at home, rest is at home. There's not a lot of separation, right? I think we're all, we're with the people we're with all the time, or we're alone a lot. And that kind of isolation can feel very, it feels very heavy, and it makes it hard to feel that jubilee, that joy. And so we have this opportunity as we read this parsha to think about ways in which we can get more free, and ways in which we can free one another, and ways in which our community can come together for joy. And I think one of the things that we have been looking forward to, and we are continuing to look forward to, is the Health and Safety Task Force is working on ways to see each other more, to have more Shabbatot in person, to find ways to be safe and also to be together. And that, to me, is a way in which we honor this piece of our Torah, this idea that, like, we have to do things in community, right? We all may have our separate farms or like our separate lives, but coming together and all agreeing, like, this is the way we choose to rest. This is the way we choose to enjoy each other's company. That is a big part of who we are as a people. So I saw a lot of people talking about, like in all the Jewish circles that I'm in, which is quite a few, talking about this idea of total rest and what that means. And we get a little taste of that each Shabbat, but I don't think we really, I'll just speak for myself that I don't always use it to my full advantage. I don't always take that time to really find some quiet. I don't always take the time to stop and, enjoy who I'm with, or enjoy some, a little nature or something. I don't always stop to think even about gratitude. It's something that I strive to do every day, but I don't. And especially on Shabbat, sometimes I'm, working and running around and I forget what it's there for. So this reminder of every 50 years, everybody's free. Every 50 years, and every 7 years, everything lies fallow. And then we have this reminder each week. I think it's something that I've been thinking about a lot, and how to implement that more into my life. So as we continue Shabbat this week, I hope you will find ways to enjoy a mini Shemitah, enjoy a mini sabbatical, a mini rest that is also joyous, not just a regular old, rest, but jubilee, to find some joy and rest and freedom in that space. So I would like to say to you, chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek, be strong, and let us strengthen each other as we go forward in this next book, as we continue to learn from one another, as we continue to find ways to become more and more free. Will you sing with me if you know this one? Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. I love that. That Dan Nichols song is the best. It's the best. And I'm going to put the words up so that we can all sing it together, because I think it's an important one. Here we go. Where are the words? Hold on. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, we're doing it. All right, well, this is the chords and the lyrics. So if you happen to be singing along and you want to play your guitar, now's a good time to do it. But if not, this will help us sing it together. We have come from near and far to raise our voice in song. And the more we join in the refrain, the more we feel strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. There is a power in this place and time. It shapes the rest of our lives. For when we return each day, we find a truth we can't deny. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. As we sing, we link ourselves to those who came before. And we're the ones with all those yet to come, our strength and will endure. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Be strong, let us celebrate our lives. Be strong, let us strengthen one another. Chazak, chazak. Be strong, be strong. Chazak, chazak, v'nit chazek. Thank you, Dan Nichols. One of my favorites. That's one of my favorites. Sometimes I wind up singing it in public on accident, and it just pops out. So, it was in my head all week. And then I was like, oh, it's the end of Leviticus. Maybe that's why. Speaking of strength, we are going to continue with our prayer for all of those who are in need of strength of body and strength of mind and strength of spirit. We are praying for so many of our fellow congregants who are in need of healing. Mark Kowalski, Marty Price, Suzanne Kovacs, Marsha Weiner, Ruth Zendel, the Goldsmith family, Ellen Tickner, Shay Bukema, Marty Bernstein, Fred Silverman, and Sarah Bat Abraham. As always, I invite you to share the names of the people who you are thinking of, whose strength you are praying for this evening. Dorothy?
Melissa Doak, Adele Buono, Marianne Lucas, Mike and Louise Randolph, Pete Sprecher, and Megan Ramos.
Leslie and Shell?
Liz Hampton and Justin Derringer.
Thank you. Sheila? You're muted, Sheila.
Ruth Mackey, Evelyn Gelfand.
Nancy?
Russell Wright and Joe Stone.
Jay?
Eric Bukema, Kier Bukema, Heather, Emma Weishar, and Sandy Sepula Gear.
Marla and Art?
Lynn Cummings, Lori Westcott, Bracha Bet Shimon, and Shabtai Moshe Bat Miriam.
Arville.
I just said her name in Hebrew.
Joanne?
Amrita Bose, Aditi Roy, Raka Narayan, Ichi Bose, and all the other COVID patients in India that are struggling.
Pam?
Suzanne David, Jeffrey Cohen.
Cindy?
Aviva Panish, Belinda Salzberg, Barbara Marie Herbon, Cheryl Tunick, Harvey Goldberg, Marilyn Janiak, and Sue Pilarski.
Karen?
Ina Siegel.
Arlene?
Noah Shaw, Richard Swantek, Peggy Brown, Alice Moore, Renee Evans, Robbie Laker Tall, Ivy Gold, Miriam Hoffman, Steve Penn.
Also, people have shared names in the chat. Peggy Griffin, Annie Griffin, Mallory Opelia, Lauren Arid, Art Horning, Jerry Moore, Gary Price, and the Reitz family. We are, of course, thinking about all of those who are suffering from COVID and all of those who need extra lift this evening. We continue on page 67.
Me.
Avotenu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Before we continue with our closing prayers, Patty Rafis, I believe, has some announcements to share with us.
That is correct. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Good to see you. We have a lot of announcements tonight, so settle in, buckle up. First of all, I hope that you will help us reach our shoe drive goal of collecting 2,500 pairs of shoes. The drive runs through May 31st, and we are 44% of the way there. Donate your gently worn and new shoes to help raise funds for Shir Tikvah and support micro-enterprise vendors in developing nations. Please spread the word and get ready for our May drop-off events on the 16th and 23rd from 12 to 1 p.m. The Detroit Jewish Film Festival runs virtually from May 9th through 15th, and Shir Tikvah and Sisterhood are co-sponsoring the film Kiss Me Kosher. Check the e-blast for details. A limited number of complimentary tickets are available on a first-come, first-served basis. Contact Lorelei if you're interested. I think an email also went out yesterday about that, so you might want to check your email. On the evening of Shavuot, we honor the gift of the Torah at Mount Sinai. Shir Tikvah joins congregations and rabbis from around the country via Zoom for a unique set of online study sessions, including music, TV shows, and celebration of Torah for all ages. Programming runs from 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 16th through 11 a.m. on Monday, May 17th. Rabbi Elisha will be leading a meditation session on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Go to shirtikvah.org to register or see the full program. Join us for an outdoor in-person music Shabbat, yay, on Friday, May 21st, that's 2 weeks from today. In-person activities start at 6:15, services start at 7:15 for in-person and virtual, and registration is required, so please go to shirtikvah.org to register. Camp Tikvah returns this summer, August 27th through 29th. In beautiful Lexington, Michigan. Have fun with Shir Tikvah friends and meet new ones. This is an all ages event. Registration is open at shirtikvah.org. Have you been joining us virtually for Shabbat services and are interested in membership? First of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us virtually. If you are interested in membership, please contact our Executive Director, Lorelei Berg, at info@shirtikvah.org to learn more. That is all. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you, Patty. Thanks for your being our host trustee this evening. I just want to underline our Shavuot stuff that's coming up. It's going to be, colleagues from across the country have put together this incredible program of all-night study that is the 15th and 16th. So I know that perhaps you will not stay up all night, but maybe you'll catch 1 or 2 sessions, some really incredible opportunities to learn from people who are experts in their field. So I hope you'll take advantage of that and join us, of course, on the 22nd in the morning, well, the 21st at night for Shabbat. We should have a catchy name for like Shabbat Shalom in person, like I'm trying to think of some Hebrew catchphrase for like our Shabbat in person, but I can't right now. So if you think of something real catchy, let us know. And then our Shavuot service with the adult Hebrew classes on the 22nd. We are going to continue now with Aleinu on page 74. I invite you to rise. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula la'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu korim, Umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz v'yom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo U'shemo echad. Please be seated. On page 77. After a while, we learn the subtle difference between holding a hand and chaining a soul. And we learn that love doesn't mean leaning, and company doesn't always mean security. And we learn that kisses aren't contracts, and presents aren't promises. And we begin to accept our defeats with our heads up and our eyes straight forward. And we learn to build all our roads on today, because tomorrow's ground is too uncertain for plans, and futures have a way of falling down in mid-flight. After a while, we learn that even sunshine burns if we ask too much. So we plant our own gardens and decorate our own souls instead of waiting for someone to bring us flowers. And we learn that we really can endure, that we really are strong, and that we really have worth. And we learn and we learn. With every goodbye, we learn. This week, we are in a period of Shloshim for Ruth Spargel, the grandmother of Scott Litt and great-grandmother of Mark Litt. We are also recalling the yahrzeits this week of Karen Vogt, daughter of Les Davis, Ruth Winter, mother of Marilyn Janiak, Irving Fishman, father of Eileen Nowakowski, Harry Platt, father of Phyllis Wenig, Norma Wolf, mother of Bob Wolf, Lena Faso, mother of Mary Jane Faso, Ruth Van Gordon, mother of Nancy Gross, Rachel Jacobs, mother of Haviva Ferrier, and Marvin Liebsen, father of Michael Liebsen. If you are observing a yahrzeit or somebody you would like to mention somebody else's name at this time, I invite you to do so. Please rise as we join together on page 78 for the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkazal v'yikadash shemei rabbah ve'alma dirach yirutev yamlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayed zachol beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam omei almaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yithalal Shemitah Kudasha B'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav huya aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who brings peace bring peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved here and everywhere, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. We are going to continue with, I think we'll continue with Gesher Tzar Me'od. I think we sang that last week, but it's just really been on my mind, and it turns out that somebody who I sang this with once has not been well, and he's something that sometimes that happens, a song reminds you of somebody and you're like, oh, I got to call that person, and then you call and you speak to them. So I want to just think about my friend Benny and send this out to him as we conclude our service. Kol ha'olam kulo Gesher Tzar Me'od, Gesher Tzar Me'od, Gesher Tzar Me'od. Kol ha'olam kulo, Gesher Tzar Me'od, Gesher Tzar Me'od, Gesher Tzar Me'od. V'haikar, lo lefached klal. V'haikar, lo lefached klal. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. we are going to conclude this evening with the Kiddush and Motzi, which you will find on page 87. If anybody's feeling particularly moved, like they would like to lead Kiddush or Motzi, I'd love to have you do that. Otherwise, I can do it and we can do it together. Oh, Sheila, thank you so much. You should feel free to do the short or long versions, whichever you feel moved to do. But you're muted, so we can't hear you. So if you're singing, I'm missing it.
Okay,
Wonderful.
gonna do the short version.
Sounds great.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen. L'chaim, everybody. Cheers. May wine be sweet and may this be a restful one. You want to do motzi too, Sheila, if you got it there?
Sure, I've got like a third of a challah, but
I feel like that's much more than a lot of people have. So you're doing great. Like I wasn't organized enough to do challah this week.
help me with the singing. I'm not very good at it.
Okay.
Start.
Motzi lechem min haaretz.
We give thanks for the God for bread. Our voices
rise in song together
as our
joyful prayer
are said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen. B'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everybody. I hope you find a little taste of Shemitah this week. I hope you find a little taste of rest. It's so good to be together. Next week, our services will be combined with the Traverse City Congregation. Rabbi Arnie's going to be leading. It's going to be wonderful, so I hope you'll join for that too. Thank you again, Patty, and Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Wait.
I forgot to say, Rich and Pam, I know we won't be together next week, so I want to wish you in advance a very happy 50th anniversary.
Yay, mazel tov, mazel
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Mazel tov.
Five-oh.